What's up, everyone out there in crypto land? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Crypto Savvy here with your Litecoin and Bitcoin update. I'm going to do it a little different today. We're going to start out with Bitcoin and why I believe that the bottom's in. We're also going to look at why I don't believe we have to have the capitulation candle that everybody's talking about. And I'm going to show you some proof of why we don't have to. It's not to say that we won't, but we definitely don't have to see that candle that everybody is seeming to think we have to see. So anyways, also a reminder, I started a Discord group that's more newbie friendly. I will leave a link to that in the description box below if you want to check that out. You're more than welcome. Also, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, commenting, liking. You're really helping the channel grow, and I'm humbled by how quickly it's growing. So I'd appreciate it if you guys also share these videos if you belong to any groups or, you know, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and help me grow the channel. I really appreciate it, guys. So let's take a look at the charts.
1, 2, 3,
All right, guys, before I begin, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or any investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind that this is still a speculative market, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. Also, if you haven't already or you're new here, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. That will get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think. And in the comment section below, guys, if you would, let me know if you're bullish or bearish in the short term. Really interested to see where everybody's at right now. So let's get into the Bitcoin daily chart. And I'm going to do this, if you guys haven't seen it before, compare this to the gold chart. And obviously this gold chart is 20 some odd years, and the Bitcoin chart here is about a year and a half, something like that. But keep in mind that charts are basically human emotion, and you know, human emotion never changes. So, but also keep in mind that times are a lot faster now. Like back when, if you look at the gold chart 20 some years, we didn't have internet and that stuff back here, so things have sped up. Just keep that in mind. Anyways, we're gonna look at Bitcoin first. You can see I have, from the all-time high, I have this dotted line drawn to where we broke down from 6,000. And then over here on the second peak here, I have a solid line drawn down to where we went to 6,000 across. And I have a solid line on the bottom as a long-term trend line. And also, for the bears out there, there's a dotted line here that would be the bearish scenario, in my opinion. So anyways, we're going to take a look at gold now, and I did the same thing from the all-time high over here and across to where it broke down, and then the solid line, same, and then the long-term trend line. And as we see what happened after that, when we broke back through, you know, with this huge boost up, right around in 2003, that it was actually, I think it was March, it was in March, I think March 3rd, but I'm not 100% on that right now, but the gold ETF was approved, and that's when everything started to skyrocket up. Also, we're going to zoom in a little bit. Excuse me. We're going to zoom a little bit on the chart here and look at where it bottomed. And again, this is gold on the weekly, guys, and it's Bitcoin on the daily. But like I said, things have sped up. But if you look here, we never had that big capitulation candle that everybody was talking about, just more of a rounded bottom. If we take a look at Bitcoin and we zoom in to where we're at right now, you know, we're having pretty much the same deal. We're getting support on this bottom trend line, and I said I would get bearish if this broke. And right now, if we were to go directly down right now, the trend line's right around the 3,500 area. So I'd be willing to say if we broke down 3,500, I would become bearish, but I don't see it happening, guys. I really don't see it. I know, you know, so many people are bearish right now, and I'm probably going to catch more flack for this, but Again, I'm giving you my opinion and my view of the market. As you can see, all my EMAs crossed here, and we're getting support still on the EMAs right here. But if you look at this, we hit the bottom trend line twice and continue up from here. And kind of strange here, we didn't quite hit it on gold, but you know, it's the same picture. And again, guys, human emotion never changes, and charts are definitely based on human emotion. Also, I'm going to go back into this chart. We're going to go into the RSI on a Bitcoin chart, and we're going to look at, first off, the weekly. As you can see, I have these two trend lines drawn here from the peak of the all-time high in 2013 and then the 2017 bull run, and then coming down. And as you can see, we touched it here, got resistance, and went back down. Touched it the second time, got resistance, and then broke through. Over here, we touched it the first time, got resistance the second time, and broke through. Then we got rejected up here at this line again. See, we got rejected here, come back down, and back up. But if we look at the chart, let me try to move this up a little bit and look in that area to where we were at that time. This was our low the last time before we broke through this trend line, and we never seen another low that low. And then if we look over here, we get into where we're at now. Obviously, this was where we bottomed here, and we never seen that low again. Even when we got rejected at this line and came back down, that's where I believe we could possibly come back down to test this bottom trend line. Let me straighten it out a little bit for you guys. But I don't think this line is going to break. If this bottom trend line breaks, like I said, then I become bearish. But I think we've seen our bottom here, guys. And in my opinion, if you're waiting for that lower low, in my opinion, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think you're going to be disappointed because I don't see it. I don't see us getting lower lows. So going back into the RSI here, like I said, we could pop up here, get another rejection like we did back here, and come back down, but there was no lower low again after that. Now let's go into the monthly and look at the RSI in the monthly. And you can see I have these two arcs drawn here. I'll try to zoom in as far as I can with keeping it viewable to you guys. As you can see, here was the all-time high 2013, all-time high of 2017. Then we had the bear market, and these arrows represent the lows on the RSI. We had 4 lows, and then, you know, there was never another low after that. Over here in the 2017 or 18 bear market, same thing, 4 lows, and I don't believe we're going to see another low. And this, you know, could end up getting, you know, coming back down, something just like over there, test that bottom, come up, bounce, and go on. But if you look here, the last time we touched the bottom of this arc back here was in August of 15. And if it would do the same, we would, you know, it would be somewhere in this area right here where we, you know, bottom out on the RSI on this arc and then continue up. So anyway, that's my view on that. Like I said, you never seen another capitulation. You never seen a big capitulation candle here. I don't believe we're going to see one here either. Let me go back into the daily. That's why I don't believe we're going to see one here either, just because, like I said, guys, charts are based on human emotions. Human emotions will always be the same and always react the same, in my opinion. And like I said, we seem to be getting good support off these EMAs here. But not to say we don't come back down and test this again somewhere. But again, guys, like I said, I don't see us going below the 3,500 ever again. So just my opinion. Now we're going to go into Litecoin, and we're going to start out in the monthly. And as you can see, I had this wedge drawn here that we've popped out of. And if you look right here, this line right here is my 13 EMA, and that's what's giving us resistance right now. We've broken through the 8 and the 21, and right here, and again, this is the monthly chart. I'm going to go into the weekly now and take a look at that. All right, so in the weekly chart, and obviously this weekly candle will close tonight about 8. It's 8 o'clock my time. So anyways, looking at the 64.31 area is my 55 EMA here, which we may get resistance. And as you can see here, my EMA's back here when the 8 crossed. This one's the 8 here, and when it crossed the 21, we got this boost up here, and now we have the 13 getting ready to cross the 21. And you know, I'm not sure that happens today, but maybe next week. And then I do believe we're going to get another push up from here. And as you can see, I had this rising channel drawn here, and if we did a measured move off the rising channel and moved it up to where we broke out, that would get us around the $68 range, and we'll look at that here in a minute. But anyway, this is all still looking bullish to me. Sorry about that, guys. This is all still looking bullish to me because these EMAs look like they're going to cross again here, which I believe they will. So I am extremely bullish right now for the short to midterm. And again, guys, like, I do believe we'll correct eventually, but I don't see it yet until the $65 to $68 range at least. I'm going to go into the daily on Litecoin, and I'm going to look at the longer term targets first, the midterm, I guess you would say. But I have the measured move here from right across here, looking at this as a cup and handle, and that would go down to the bottom of the cup with the neckline being at 52.37. Bring that up over here to where it broke out, and that's what gets me the $80 range, guys. I'll put that back down here. And then if we look here at another cup and handle possibility, there's a handle right here, and the cup and the neckline on that one would be the 46.50 range. And if we took the measured move of that one, put it up here, that's what gets me the $72 range, guys. So with that being said, also, if you guys look here at my 55 EMA, which is this line here, and this is my 200 EMA, and they do look like they're going to cross. And I'm looking for a cross somewhere, and if we draw, if we draw a line in the continuation of this one, you know, I believe we're going to have a cross somewhere between the 26th and 29th, somewhere in that range, and I do believe that's going to be, you know, a bullish signal, and we will probably get another push up from there, in my opinion. Now I'm going to go into the 4-hour and take a look at these shorter term targets and how I came up with them, which would be the same as what I just looked at. And these are just other reasons why I believe that 65 to 68 are my targets for this, you know, for right now. So first off, we'll take a measure move from this bull flag pull to this bull flag to where we broke out. And I have this bull flag drawn in here if you can't see it. And that gets me to the $68 range. Put that one back down here. And then you see this bull flag here. Measure this flag pull and put it here. That gets me to the $65 range. And put it back over here. Now also, I do have a bearish scenario here. If we were to break out of the bottom of this channel here, you can see the channel I've drawn. I know most people, I have this dotted line here because a lot of people are looking at this as a rising wedge, but I don't see the rising wedge. I believe this is a channel here. And if we do a measured move, the length of the channel to where we would break out. If we were to break down, I believe it's going to be somewhere in this range. If it was to happen, we need to watch this bottom channel. And if we were to break down, then my target there is the 41.35 range, which would probably get us over to the bottom of this rising channel. Now, if we were to break up from here at one of these two targets, it would probably be, you know, around the $6,800 range. If we were to break up, you know, that still gets us around the $80 range. So that's where I'm getting these targets, guys. If you're curious, I guess we could take a look at the RSI on the daily, and then we're going to switch over to Litecoin here in a minute. But I do want to look at the RSI on the daily and see what we're looking at. So as you can see, I had this rising wedge drawn here. We're getting support on the bottom. Now this would be bearish to me if we broke this bottom support line. You know, we may, but you got to keep in mind, and I've showed you guys this before and showed you what happened, but on the daily you can break down here, but as long as it comes back up before the close, then we stay inside this. So be aware of that. You know, we could, if it does break down, we could have a large sell-off, or it could be just a fake out. We pop back up in and remain in here. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at the 4-hour RSI, and I know this looks kind of messy, but it makes sense to me. And if you guys aren't charting and drawing your own trend lines, I suggest you do that. Don't take anybody's charting and just do your own trades off that. If you are trading, I suggest you do your own charting. Don't rely on anybody else. But I do like to show my videos and show my opinion. As you can see, there's like a symmetrical triangle here, or symmetrical wedge, whichever you want to call it, where we've gotten resistance, resistance, resistance. Then on the bottom, support, support, support. Excuse me. So anyways, these other lines I just have as, you know, other resistance that became support, and same with this one here. But what I'm really looking at is in here, and that's why I do believe we do have another move up here, guys. And that's going to be, you know, my next targets that I just showed you. So anyways, going back into the 4-hour and looking at the RSIs, we seem to be wedged in between my 8, my 13, my 21, and my 55. And I do believe we're going to break up from here, guys. But again, we could go down, and like I said, watch the bottom of this channel. Now we're going to go into Bitcoin. Start out in a monthly, and just a reminder, if you haven't already, subscribe, tick notification bell, smash those likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think. Short to midterm, let me know what you think on if we're bullish or bearish. I'd like to hear your opinion. You obviously know mine, so I'd like to hear yours. Anyways, looking at the monthly, and as you can see, I have this wedge drawn here that we're trying to pop out of on the monthly candle, and we still have, what, another week or so in our monthly. So anyways, I'm going to go, and I want to point out too that, well, let's go into the daily. All right, looking at the Bitcoin in the daily, as you can see, I have these targets up here as my higher targets. So let's get this to where everybody can see it. I've drawn this rising wedge here, which is a possibility, which would get us up to these highs. Something to really keep an eye on, guys, because if we do break this area here in the 4170 range, you know, my next target would be 3050 range, or 4350 range, and then on up if we do break this. And to show you how I got these targets, I'm gonna first look at this line across here, which would be the 4110, which would be, well, actually, sorry about that. First, we're going to look at the symmetrical triangle that I had drawn here with the solid line on top, dotted line on the bottom. We broke through here, came back down, tested for support twice, got support. So if we took a measured move off the longest distance of this symmetrical triangle and we put it to where we originally broke out, that would get me the 4,900 range, which I do believe, you know, there's a good possibility that's where we're headed. Now the next line, we use this as the neckline, the 4120, and look at this as an Adam and an Eve. And we take that measured move and put it to where we broke out. That gets me to the $5,200 range. We'll put that back down here. And the other target I have would be if this was a head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulders, where this would be the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And the neckline would be right here at the 4,100 range. And if we move to where it would break out, that also gets us to the 49. So guys, this is, you know, there's a lot of things pointing that we're going up, and I know a lot of people use a lot of different indicators and whatnot, and I just believe that's a lot of noise because the charts are actually pretty simple in my eyes. You know, like I said, there's no guarantee. This is just my opinion. But now I'm going to go into, let's go into the RSI real quick, and then we'll go into the 4-hour RSI. And as you can see, we seem to be following this channel pretty well with getting support on the top, or resistance on the top line, support on the bottom. We could come back down, test the bottom of this again, and continue up, or continue up from here. We go into the 4-hour. As you can see here, I had this channel drawn in here with resistance, 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 and then support, support, kind of like a bull trap. But then we created this line here, but also continued to get support over here on this bottom line. But we've broken through here, and as you can see, I made this channel here. We broke through, coming up to test again for resistance. If we come back down, I believe we, you know, come back down and we should get support off of this. Now, if we look at the price chart and kind of see where that would lead us, you know, we could come down to this bottom trend line, which would be the 3890 range, actually 3900, somewhere in here. But I do believe we're going to hold support around the 3950 range. But obviously we could break down further from there. And I'm going to do the same as in Litecoin. The measured move off of this bull flag here would be measure this flagpole, which is right here, and put it to where we broke out initially. Even if we broke out over here, we're looking at the 4150 to 4170 range. Then the other measured move I have here, guys, is looking at this as a rising channel, just like in Litecoin. People are seeing a rising wedge, but I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a rising channel here. So I believe we may see sideways movement all the way over to here before a pop up. But a measured move down out of this channel would bring us down to around the 3730, 3750 range. I'll move this up here. Around the 3750, 3730 range. If we were to break down, you know, past this 3950 point. So that's where I'm at there. That would be the bearish scenario, obviously. And, you know, say we went up here to the 4170 and we break the 4170 range, and it breaks up, that also brings me to the 4368. That's where it gets interesting, guys, because if we do break this area, then these higher targets come into effect, the 4900 and the 5250. So that's what I'm seeing now. I'm still bullish here. I don't see us correcting yet, but if we do, I see a correction maybe to the 3730 area. And again, guys, I'm going to remain bullish unless we break this bottom trend line here, which is the dotted line here. And if we were to go directly down here, you know, we'd be looking at the 3520 range. $3,500 to $3,550, somewhere in there. And if we broke down past that point, then that's where I would become bearish. But until then, I'm bullish, and I don't see that happening. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget to hit the Crypto Savvy logo above my head, get subscribed, tick the notification bell, get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you bearish? Are you bullish? Short term, long term, mid term? Where you at, guys? Let me know. Thanks, man.